Hi there, welcome to the Noah Presgrove Case. Today I've got some breaking news to share with you, and it's in regard to a supposed meeting that was going to happen in March with Noah's family and Elisha Lee. Whether Kaden Pressy was there or not, that's what was supposed to happen. What really did happen? Well, just for a little bit of context and backstory, I'm going to be sharing with you some never seen before until just recently released screenshots, conversations, DMs from the different points of view, such as Jen Fiorillo, and communication with Robin Smith and even Elisha Lee, and what went down there at some point previously in regard to taking time off, in regard to meeting, in regard to iCloud, phone data analysis and all of that, what people were wishing for and what the family supposedly really want, to see if Kaden's timeline is true or not, and not just in words but in actual, I guess, hard evidence, seeing it for themselves as for the victim's family. But is it that simple and that easy? On the surface level, have we actually seen any confirmation of it happening? Does it link back to the disappointment of the expired URL link or something, which did not work when the family received it? Delayed tactics, stalling tactics, or is this yet another thing on top of more disappointment? Because you never know what goes on in the background. But at least today, I just want to show you the conversations which have come about very recent, important, and you get to see more conversations which you've never had a chance to before. And for me, it's the same as well. I'm looking at it raw, my raw reactions. What I do want to say is, as a heads up, amongst earlier discussions about this, it was interpreted that it was supposed to be happening in recent time, as in maybe in a few days. And I could agree with that, and it'd be interesting, but that's not the reality. It supposedly has already happened, or it was going to happen at least previously. And you'll notice that based off the timestamps, the dates, the month, all shown and highlighted for context, which is a positive. And then you can react to it down below in the comment section to let me know what you think actually happened. Are you disappointed? Are you shocked? Surprised? Is it a positive or not? Do you see things which I don't? Leave your comments down below and questions. I can respond back later. In the pinned comment below, you'll see some links. PayPal link if you want to support my channel. Big shout out to John Doe and I think Robbie Taylor for their super chats last night. Wasn't expecting it. Very positive to see. If anyone is interested in watching other videos of mine, the full playlist and catching up there, you'll find that top right corner where the eye symbol is. You get the drop down box. And whilst those are currently here during the live premiere, welcome. Let me know your live reactions in the chat box located on the right side of the screen. The order of how we'll do things today, we're going to jump straight onto the Reddit page, the original Noah Presgrove one. In regard to the post, links onto what we've been talking about just recently, but it's the comment section where it talks about the different things of today's theme. And whilst there seems to be a bit of squabbling between Jan Fiorillo and Michael Fazekas, which people could consider as, is it necessary? Well, you'll make more sense of it in just a second when we switch over. And then after that, I'll just give my closing thoughts on what I think the situation is. So this particular post was one day ago by Excellent Spite, and the title of the post reads, "The Presgrove Project Movement hopes to further awareness of 19-year-old's death." And the caption below, "Thank you, Michael, for everything you do." Now, I did click on this before accidentally, and I believe it would take you to maybe the video what we looked at last night. I'll have to double check afterwards. But it said error, could not find the video, the article. And whilst yes, that was correct, because there was two originally, one taken down and by the request of Noah's family, because there was no like consent or reaching out to them to say if it was okay or not for the coverage in the interview. I wonder if the second one's been removed since. I'll have to double check that later. But we're mainly here for the thread down below. And speaking of thread, we've got threaded barrel, the user supposedly Michael Fazekas. Now, when I click on the images, it looks like Reddit has spazzed out a little bit because it does this, unfortunately. But nevertheless, I'll just have to zoom in. Hopefully that's clear enough for you. This is a I guess, a Facebook message conversation between Jan Fiorillo and I guess Michael Facekaz. And they say, I do believe the data collection was done. I was in direct communication with Elisha when she got the information and she was verifying information over the phone with me. However, I did not see it myself. I know that recently Shannon Scott did. I think it's Shannon Scott. Is the family asking to see the data? And Jan says, you know, or at least I hope you are convinced by now that I don't make post or series of post without a purpose, Michael. Right, so this is definitely a conversation between Jan on the left and Michael in the blue box. Michael says, I think they should call. I think they should meet up in person. I don't think there should be any electronic files shared with anyone at this point. So the people are speaking to do with Elisha and, you know, the victim's family, Noah Presgrove. They should be meeting up. They should call. I think meeting up in person is better. As for electronic files, drop boxes and all of that, well, we've already seen how that's gone previously. So this is the start of the thread. There is more to it down below. Jan telling me she set a meeting with Elisha and Noah's family. Human in waiting. I guess they're an alien if they're waiting to become a human. This is Jan Fiorillo. That's their username, human. And Jan's response to Michael Facekaz's post, I did not say that I set a meeting with Elisha. Again, you twist and misrepresent. I said a meeting had been set now, not even the same thing. Great, so great wording. And then threaded barrel is this screenshot. So why are these all coming out all of a sudden? I guess recent. This is with Elisha Pressy, Kaden's mom, and it appears to be Jan Fiorillo on Facebook again with Elisha, I think. Unless it's like an overlay because of those weird boxes down below. Oh, no, it isn't. Or maybe it is. It's kind of hard to tell. It's like an overlap from the looks of it. Elisha Pressy, Jan telling me there's a meeting set for Noah's family to look at Kaden's data. Strictly confidential, of course. Now I know why. I don't even know what that is. It looks like it's not on Facebook Messenger, that. Maybe it's via normal text message, SMS, and maybe a screenshot or a photo was posted in the conversation between Elisha and, what was it, Michael? I don't know, it's a bit of a dodgy overlay, that. Elisha's response to what Jan said. That's a big fat lie. I wonder why it didn't show when I clicked it on zoomed in. RCS. Oh yeah, normal text conversations. I get that. Okay. Right. And Human says, we've got downvotes as well. Let me see if I have this correct. You are calling me a liar because Elisha, who I had just shown you proof further up in that DM where Elisha had lied, is what you're calling your proof that I lied. Lol, are you serious with this? Sounds like a bit of a mess. Right. Michael, you have forced my hand. I have never wanted to publicly make Elisha look bad out of concern for Kaden. I have seen no purpose. But when you insist that I am a liar, and when you share screenshots of Elisha calling me a liar, you leave me no choice. I am attaching Elisha's message about this meeting to Robin Smith, Nozan, and I am attaching, with permission, mine and Robin's private message about the meeting that I shared with you as strictly confidential, that you said you would not share, but did. So who is the liar here, Michael? Oh boy, it's not looking too good, this. But I think what's interesting is the bit about the screenshots of Elisha calling Jan Fiorillo a liar, and yet attaching Elisha's message about this meeting. Okay. Let's see what this is about. I don't know if it will fit on screen. Maybe it won't. No, it won't, will it? Nope. God, I hate this, how it works. We'll have to do it this way round. It's so dumb. Right, so this conversation, is it Facebook? Is it? It doesn't really matter. Robin, Monday, March 24th, I guess 2025. Elisha contacted me. I'm going there on Wednesday. Shall we chat? I'm on pins and needles hoping your meeting with Elisha was productive. Oh, March, shit. Yeah. Oh, going there Wednesday and in March. What are we in now? Are we in April? Shit. Some time's passed by already. Has Robin been quiet in recent time? Did the odd post online recently? I guess in between been dealing with the other stuff with the KSW07 news. There's that. Let me know your thoughts down below. That Elisha contacted Robin about the meeting up, as in I guess Robin going to Elisha's place. How did it go? How would it go? We've not really heard anything at this moment. And then we've got this here. This is normal text conversation. Could be considered iMessage with Elisha. Monday, March 24th. And this is what Elisha says, I think. I'm going to take off work Wednesday so that your family, the Presgrove family, can come on over, access anything you want on my son's phone, Kaden's phone. We just requested his iCloud data link again. So the link should be in his inbox then. Then, when you have the data you need, I want my son left alone. Well, as long as that link does work. But this whole link, what? To access the link when distant? To access the link when you all meet up in person? What happens if the link expires again, like how it did the first time, supposedly? What happens then? There's some more there, but unfortunately, because the way the stupid thing is. There we go. I didn't think anyone in your family had an issue with us, but after reading Pam and Jan's post, I know that is not the case. Okay. Had an issue with us. What, implying that people in the family do have an issue now? I mean, in fairness, if anyone did have an issue, it would be somewhat justified if people really truly wanted answers and the answers were being delayed or dragged out. I get that. Okay. And this was posted by Jan Fiorillo. The next one, come over and access. I didn't think anyone in the family. Pam and Jan's post, I know that is not the case. I'm sorry if you felt we have ever tried to hide anything from you, as that is not something we have ever tried to do. Maybe didn't try, but in the eyes of some have done a good job at it, or stalling things. Not from the general public, but more so from the victim's family. Michael Facecast responds, of course, I thought this would be welcomed with open arms. However, Ashley Chadwick was not very happy to the point that she went into the comment section. So this is just Michael talking about the original post here of the KSW7. Started attacking me and Justin Roy in the comments. KS had to delete all of her comments. Did they have to, or did they want to? Did they need to? To say that they had to make it sound like they had no choice. Why you're not allowed freedom of speech on there? And eventually they ended up taking the story and video down. Says Michael. They said they don't want any more attention on Noah's case, according to Jan and Pam. And that this is bad for the case, apparently. Well, wasn't it just a couple of weeks ago they had a car show to spread awareness for Noah? Noah's mother has supported the petition since day one. I don't know if that has changed. I haven't spoken to her in a while, but I have sent messages out to her and other family members. It's unfortunate that there is a divide. One would think the only thing that matters is getting truth and justice. Relationship says, I'm being attacked, but she's an addict and I should help. What? Who is relationship? I'm being attacked that she's an addict and I should help get. What? Well, it looks like maybe they put the story and video back up. Maybe other family members reached out. Who's attacking you? I made a post on here saying I'll post about Noah's mom needing a car. What the fuck's going on there? Human. Wow. Talk about mischaracterization. Who told you that according to Jan and Pam, they don't want any more attention on Noah's case? Says Jan Fiorillo, human in waiting. And that this is a bad for the case. Don't put words into my mouth or use my name to defend why the family didn't appreciate yet another one of you and your independent moves without any communication with any of Noah's family who have been in charge of this investigation and publicity efforts. To be clear, I never said those things. You intentionally framed that to drag me into the conversation to make Noah's family look bad. Oh God, I think we're in for a long one here. How incredulous, but you said it's unfortunate there is a divide. Who are you to judge anything about this family or take advantage of their family situations navigating life with a family member who is an addict? Why are we going down that route? I mean, just as a simple observation, it appears to be not quite a fact, but a strong observation and point to put across is that maybe the Presgrove family is a little divided, or more so a breakdown in communication, where some family members may know about Noah's personal possessions being returned back or being in possession of them themselves and then handed out, and then other family members still in the dark about whether they've been returned or not, remaining missing. That's problematic. Anyway, Jan says, why would you interfere in something you know nothing about? Well, that's not completely true. You are very much aware of Noah's mother's situation, and instead of considering her family, Noah's family, who has dealt with her addiction for decades and who knows best how to deal with Noah's mother, you use it as an opportunity for a way in to validate yourself and make Michael look good. Since you seem to want to be a spokesperson for Noah's mother or use her name to validate your moral superiority, why don't you start booking public engagements for her? Why don't you make her an admin on your Facebook page and give her a platform to speak about her son? Did she do a video for your new project? Since you have her support and working with family, shouldn't she have been the first video? That should increase your social clout for you. Do you even know where she lives or has been living recently? Why didn't you reach out to Noah's grandmother, aunt or uncle, his dad, or one of his siblings to include them to get their feedback, input and approval for your independent projects? Your sanctimonious comment, one would think the only thing that matters is getting truth and justice for Noah. Who do you think began that effort? You don't think these people mattered to Noah? You know Noah, the one this effort is about. You think Noah would approve of how you are portraying the people he loved and the people who actually took care of him entire life? How do you think you would feel if this was your family's tragedy? Your son and some strange from Oklahoma was inserting himself in independent projects that you knew nothing about until you hear about it on your local news station in Oregon. Why do you think you know more than Noah's family? Why do you think Noah's family doesn't matter and that you don't need their blessings? Furthermore, Ashley Chadwick was not alone in the family or friends in a sentiment about your actions. Was not alone. I only saw what Ashley Chadwick had to say. To be honest, if that original post was never deleted or removed, there was supposedly more comments by, I think, Ashley and maybe other comments by other family members, but it was deleted, so I never got to see it. Really annoying. It's a shame. Right, where's it sent me now? You may have some Facebook and Reddit members fooled, but the ones that actually do matter see right through you, Michael. Michael says to Jan, you have become a joke. Why are you even coming on here? I have no idea why you feel it's necessary to attack me and other people who are here for the right reasons. I've reached out to Noah's family, who have previously supported my efforts, and if their position has changed or they wish for me to back off, I have no problem doing that. It's quite ridiculous, in my personal opinion, for someone to completely ignore Noah's biological mother and other family members while shouting Noah's family is upset. Your ad hominem attacks on me and others have diluted your credibility. I lost respect for you, Jan, the moment you lied to me and then continued to perpetrate that lie after you were caught. I've no need to fool anyone. I'm not gaining anything by being involved in this case. Oh, and then Jan Fiorillo has been downvoted a lot. If you're going to call me a liar, prove it, show your receipts. Also, look up the definition of ad hominem before you try to use it, since it's exactly what you just did. I argued your actions were inappropriate. I didn't attack you, the person, like you did to me. Calling me a joke and a liar. Lost credibility with who? Facebook strangers? There's some additional responses, but I don't know if it will kick me off or not, because I remember that in the past. Michael, I will gather the screenshots, Jan. I'm fully aware of the definition of ad hominem. You attack people's character. You attack the person whilst ignoring the issue at hand. I'm not the one in need of the education, but I appreciate you giving it your best effort. You do that, I'll wait for those screenshots that prove I am a liar. Are you referring to the screenshots from our private DMs where you broke both confidentiality and privacy and already publicly shared those once before, while still not providing I lied about anything? Well, how about we let a real judge and jury decide on that? What is the issue at hand, Michael, that I have ignored? I thought I covered that pretty well. And someone says, called Annie, it's the first article with a call to action outside the local community on this case in months. The strategy ain't strategizing. Right, how do I check the full comment thread without it kicking me off? Well, it kicks me off. God damn it. Why does that always happen? Right, so we've seen all that. I'm just making sure I don't miss anything out. Don't know why that's disappeared. Right, we've seen that one. Did we look at that one? Maybe we've not seen this one. You didn't show me any proof. You showed me a screenshot of what Elisha has already said. No surprise. Wow, you just can't stop yourself. You're single-handedly exposing Elisha's lies. That is on you. I've never wanted to do that publicly, ever. Until and unless you make a claim challenging my trustworthiness and integrity and force me to defend myself. I showed you a DM screenshot where on June 7th at 3:11 p.m. I reached out to Elisha and offered help with legal assistance. I showed you another screenshot on June 9th at 5:37 p.m. where Elisha asked for my cell phone number to give to her attorney regarding digital forensics. I showed you a public comment that Elisha had just made in the army group claiming that she did not know me from Adam and that I had never offered to pay for legal assistance or Kaden's digital forensics. I showed you those screenshots from mine and Elisha's DM to show you that Elisha was capable of lying over something so stupid and trivial. But why would Elisha do that? How does one gain? I did not share those out publicly, not even to defend myself. With Elisha made those comments, Elisha can thank you for that, Michael. I did not... Oh, here we go. I see a name. I did not even share any of this publicly, even when you went on your smear campaign on Trav's Facebook group or Warlight Raph's live chat comments, because I do not want to hurt Kaden. I don't want what his mother has done or said to be a poor reflection on him. You just don't get it. Intrepid Bird says, go away. We're not interested in your hysteria. Totally not productive and not the point of this community. This is honestly just a bunch of annoying background noise. Jan responds, but not in the same thread. Reminds me of YouTube. You are certainly entitled to your opinion, but no one is entitled to call me or anyone else a liar without recourse and or proof. The point of this community is truth and justice, or so I thought. If the original poster, that's what it means, had not lied about me and inserted my name and then continued to lie some more, I would not have had to comment at all, nor did you have to read any of these comments. If you feel this is hysteria, not productive and annoying background noise, Or did you have to go to the trouble to comment your opinion? Especially since you seem so concerned with trivialities. I certainly did not go out of my way to insult you and leave unkind remarks. Just curious, how would you describe your comment? It goes on, but we might as well acknowledge it whilst we're here. Michael, Jan, I really don't have anything else to say to you. I think there's a lot more than you're not saying about what actually happening with that meeting. That was from before me and you even spoke. Look at your timestamp. I hope you are here for the right reasons, and I hope whatever you're doing ends up helping. I don't want to continue battling with you, so consider this my final reply. If you feel the need to have the last word, as I know you like to do, go ahead. Oh, I understand that well. I tried to start a fundraiser for her to help get her back on her feet. I guess that's Noah's mum, and was attacked left and right for even bringing the idea up. Then it was turned into I was scamming her somehow. I don't get the mentality of some of these people and how they can take something and twist it to something that never was. I really do feel like there is a lot of different motives and it makes it difficult to navigate. Jan, even though Michael blocked me before making his last comment to spread more lies, a friend sent me a screenshot of his comment. I can't see it, but I will reply here to rebut his lies again. For the record, Michael, I would actually like to never have another word with you again, ever, let alone the last one. But when you continue to lie, you leave me no choice. The meeting was set on Monday, March 24th, at 9:41 p.m. to take place Wednesday, March 26th, after Robin got off work. So did it actually happen? Yes or no? Was it successful? Yes or no? I shared that strictly confidential information with you, Michael, in a DM on Tuesday, March 25th around 3 p.m. The meeting was supposed to take place the next day on Wednesday. Was supposed to. What? So that means it didn't happen. All of these screenshots are shared here, and you have our DM conversations as to when I informed you of the strictly confidential meeting that you turned right around and shared to Elisha. Again, you are the only liar and untrustworthy person here, Michael, yet even when the facts are right here, you're still trying to spin it. So what BS are you spinning here about timestamps, lol? Oh my god, look at that. I'm going to try and zoom in if possible. See if we can get it all on screen. This, I don't know what service this is. Is it Facebook or just normal conversation? March 25th at 2:47 p.m. I have asked Pam not to post her DMs and audio with Elisha, and she has agreed. So far, it serves no purpose in my opinion. I've seen and I've listened. It is not good is all I'm going to say. Donna Bond needed to be exposed for reasons beyond the obvious that I cannot discuss. But at the end of the day, I am not in control of what Pam does or doesn't do. And as I have said many times, Pam and I do not see eye to eye on everything. I'm only reaching out to you, Michael, to suggest that you don't poke the bear, so to speak. Don't poke the bear. Same line as what Brooke Bounce-Carter used in the past to Stevie Howard. But this was disappointing to see. You know what else is disappointing is being able to actually read the fucking thing. Okay. So that's great. Will it? Can I even read that? Not really. I'll try. Elisha Lee, but by all means, Jan and Pam can make a post about my son and then block us so we can't defend ourselves. I know what's going on, and many of us see it as well. It just said that people resort to this type of behaviour. I do not know Jan or Pam from Adam. For either of them to believe I would trust them and or owe them anything shows a level of entitlement. Jan and Pam have claimed that I am in cahoots with Donna Bond, has claimed that I was an alcoholic, that I have a horrible relationship with my children. Pam has made public statements that she could F that lying bitch up 10 ways of Sunday. I do not have any ill feelings towards anyone in Noah's family, regardless of what anyone says or something. Robin has never had a problem concerning to me for anything, so let's stop spreading lies. This is just people making up stories to make themselves feel better. Let's set the record straight. Jan never offered to pay for Kaden's attorney. The army group raised funds for him to obtain an attorney, not for anything other than that. As many have noticed, I've been returning or refunding these to the donors. Some need to step off their self-appointed thrones. Try as you may, but the words you say and type do not make it true. As my Sun post. So, I don't know if anyone is watching right now, but I must have some very good eyesight to be able to read most of that out, considering how small and blurry it is. And no, man, I did not need to borrow Michelle Ray Brummett's glasses, all under control. But that being said, zoom out a little bit because I know the aspects ratio is going to play havoc with me. I never said a word publicly about even offering to do Kaden's digital forensics, and didn't until George released a screenshot where Elisha was talking about me to George and the reasons saying why she wasn't going to let me do Kaden's digital forensics, and I've certainly never publicly said that I offered to pay for his attorney, even though I did. And then Michael says, I won't poke the bear, lol, just wondering what her motive is. Doesn't seem to be a productive way of getting the information she seeks. No one is seeking information, just trying to get to the family. I'm pretty sure there is a reason they don't want the family having that information at this point. We only need confirmation from the family and or their attorney. Right. Let's get out of that if I can. Okay. Well, maybe not. Is that it? Oh. So that appears to be it of the conversations here, at least. Hopefully I've acknowledged most of them. It's just unfortunate that the aspect ratio and the layout can be a little bit dodgy, but the bit there, I'm going to take off work Wednesday so that your family can come over and access anything you want on my son's phone. March 24th. Well, what's happened since? Has much changed? So once again, we get to see more screenshots and text conversations and DMs, which were once private and since recently have been released publicly. Maybe some people aren't too pleased or impressed about it in the background, but with either the screenshots by Michael or by Jan Fiorillo, back and forth and some responses along the way. Seems like another messy situation, but the important thing to take from it is there was some supposed communication and there was some supposed agreement with Robin Smith and part of Noah's family and Elisha supposed to be meeting up, and I think, if I'm correct in saying that Elisha, or at least what Jan says, Elisha's saying that was a big fat lie, or it wasn't happening, or it never did happen. Is one backtracking compared to what was supposed to go on? Why would you backtrack or say, oh, it didn't happen? There was supposedly an agreement, or is there a breakdown in communication? More importantly, despite that all, you would think a meeting is a positive thing, right? Good should come from it, and then it should put things to bed or to rest, as in what truly happened. Is Kaden's timeline correct? Yes or no? And when you look at the dates in regard to March, at some point in March, when it was supposed to happen, like mid-March going into late March, well, it's like April 16th now. Did anything actually happen? At least from online, we've not seen any post or confirmation. And as for Robin Smith, well, I'm not saying it's a true measuring tool, but you could say Robin's recent post to do with speak up if you know something. Now's the time. It was along the lines of a post like that. I believe it was on the Justice page. Well, that kind of implies that maybe you've not got anywhere. Not much has happened since. So that speak up is trying to encourage anyone to. in hopes of it helping the case. We've not seen any family post or update from him by saying, oh yeah, and by the way, back in March, supposed to be doing some meeting in person or so with Elisha. And Elisha downloading this, the iCloud and Kaden's phone, and a link as well, and you can check it all out in person. No real acknowledgement of that. So a private conversation which was supposed to remain private because it never actually led to anything. So my question would be, does this all link back to the whole expired link situation in which a link digitally sent to the Presgrove family, and when accessing it, it said it expired? Is this the whole same thing? Or is this thing a separate event which happened a bit later? And if it was, that's worst, because it just sounds like one promise after another, followed by delays, and it not actually leading to anything, all words, no action, at least from the surface level, because things in private could go on and may not be acknowledged, or it might not be able to be acknowledged publicly online. I get that, but it just seems like another dead end. I could be wrong. If there's need of an update, I'll do so, but you know, it's a good thing at least that those screenshots of the text conversations show the month, the date, day it occurred, and the time, because if it didn't, and you just read it as in, oh, there was a meeting agreed upon on a Wednesday, that's what's going to happen, you're going to be thinking, is it Wednesday today? You could be thinking, oh, Wednesday, as in what? Today? Or whenever the next Wednesday is? Well, then that must be when it's happening. Now, supposedly, it should have already have happened. But did it? Who knows? You can let me know what you think down below in the comment section. It comes across that it never happened and it was just words and no action. But you never know. There could be something unexpected in the background. But you got to take in mind, whilst that was in March, 11 days ago or so, closer to March, probably the beginning of April, or very close to the beginning of April, around that time roughly is when Kaden Pressy went quiet online, when he left all those Facebook pages. So did that supposed meeting, whether it did or didn't happen, did that link on to then Kaden going quiet from online? And if Kaden around the 29th of March or a bit before that was inquiring about downloading his Apple data from his phone and then releasing it publicly online, when a bit before that, Elisha and Noah's family were supposed to be meeting up in person but also in private to look at it that way, then why shortly afterwards would Kaden be like, oh, and by the way, you know, the general public could have my phone if they pay for it, or I can download it and I'll post it in a few days' time of when I get a hold of the data from Apple and go from there. It seems a bit reckless jumping from one thing to another. An arranged meeting amongst the victim's family and parents of parents. And then Kaden straight up saying, oh, I'll do it public. And then a few days later, just disappearing. And then silence. And then a couple of days ago, Kaden commenting on my live premiere on YouTube saying, you'll be tweaking or something like that. And then deleting their comment. And then that's it. Just a little bit random, a little bit odd. So what's the deal here? What's really going on? And like I said, you know, even if something did happen, and even if it was proved in regard to Kaden's timeline, why has it taken this long? And why has it come across so difficult and awkward to try and figure out or to communicate around? You know, like the side-by-side rollover, the mystery of that. Did it really happen? Did it not? Is there footage? Is there not? Who's involved? Who isn't? Who saw what? Who didn't? Who helped flip it over? And so much more. And then the passenger situation, how many? Who were the passengers? Not clearly identified as for names. And it's like, it's an event which happened earlier on before Noah actually died. So it doesn't quite link to his death. Still an important event, but not as severe. So it should be a lot easier to work out and for people to talk about, and that's not been the case. So why do people make it more difficult, either for themselves or for people outwards out there wanting questions? Because when you make it a bit more difficult, you make it a bit more harder, you make it appear a little bit more suspicious, you're just feeding into the hunger of the general public that will just keep pushing and pushing and questioning and going in harder and further each time because there isn't a resolve. Yeah, you can say at times you don't owe people anything, I get that, but for the sake of yourself, for the sake of the case, maybe, if possible, and if, above board, just to set the record straight, because it might help oneself by doing so. I kind of like base it off when it's come to other cases in the past when there's been breaking news to set a record straight on a mystery, on a big thing. And it's like, well, of course, I've been given it, I need to show it public. People that have given it to me wanted it to be public, so I will do that. There's no point me gatekeeping it. What good does that do? And I don't know if this can be a poll or a follow-up in a later discussion, but do any of you think that there are times where people are gatekeeping information in this case in unnatural ways, or purposely dragging and delaying stuff out, or trying to double down with words but not quite action, just to play the waiting game? Is there any psychological manipulation there? Be sure to let me know in the comments section. But hopefully you found this video a little bit interesting. If you want to hit the like button, share the video, that'd be much appreciated. My name's Wallite Rath. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.